What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you something a little different. Now, this is one of my replays, not viewer submitted, but it is a commentary on a tank I don't play too often, the T-127. Now, this is a tier 3 premium tank, and you know, it's actually pretty decent. As you can tell right there, very fast reload time. Quite a decent speed, 37 top speed, not too great, but you know, at the same time, not horrible. I've seen slower. So, and the map is Corellia standard battle, and the teams for the most part are pretty even. Now, you may notice I am playing with one of my friends, Nanophage here. Some of you are definitely familiar with him if you follow my Let's Plays, or even if you have been paying attention to my channel recently. I let him start uploading his videos to my channel because he basically said he didn't want to start his own channel, but I digress. Now let's get to this game. Nano playing very defensive on the base as a tank destroyer, which is actually one of the proper ways to play a tank destroyer in my opinion. It is the TD's job to guard artillery and guard base and play a more supportive role, and it is the tanks, the actual light, medium, and heavy tanks, who are supposed to go out there and actually spot and do the direct engagement. Now here I'm just taking advantage of the opportunity I see before me where the enemy really hasn't pushed around this corner at all, so I'm gonna get right on this corner and basically station up, let our front line advance a lot farther than it should otherwise be able to. This M2 really trying to push out and stopping dead in his tracks right there, throwing me off a little, but I will finish him off, take him right out, no problems at all. So I've already got my first kill of the match here, and our team's losses are even at this point. Now here's an AMX. He's kind of going to be troublesome, especially because those lower tier French tanks are actually really good on the armor. 900th kill, yeah, talk to me when you have several thousand people. Panzer 3 trying to push forward again. If you haven't noticed, the enemy team does have a significant push here in the south, and I am more or less alone on the front lines. Now I do have some tanks supporting me further back, and I'm primarily concerned with this Panzer 3, but I will take this opportunity right here to take a shell but not really take any damage, and there we go, taking my first damage of the game. Our team not really running into much what's the word I'm looking for? Much resistance. There it is. Much resistance on the rest of the map. Now, the enemy team pushing me right on this corner right here. Really seeing that I am, for the most part, alone. And here's what I'm talking about. The T-127 is actually pretty decent at taking those rounds and actually taking damage. So, like I said, this AMX going to be providing some issues, but I'll go for the easy kill, remove a gun from the game, and he gets out of there just in time. At this point, the enemy team has lost 3 tanks on the southern flank. 2 of them have been to me. Their artillery not really playing like artillery should at this point. Our team having lost its northern flank in the center. Well, actually, I don't believe our team has lost its northern flank. I think it's just lack of radio range at this point. Lower tier tanks tend to have poor radio range. So the Panzer 3 will get himself killed right here. I'm up to my 3rd kill, and I'm still, for the most part, alone. Our team pushing up to support me, killing that artillery, and the AMX 38 about to be engaged by his counterpart on our team. So the playing field about to be evened, very much so right here. Our team is still winning at this point, partially due to me having 4 kills. Certainly that helps when you have half of your team's kills, and I will keep hitting this AMX, you know, keep doing what I can to damage him. Now I should be aiming for that front wheel well, but I'm not. So, because if you hit them in that larger front wheel, you will do damage. And right there, finally doing some damage to him, and right here, I'm just keeping his track broken. Our team doing decent. Nano letting me know we got some problems on base, but right now we are up by 4 kills, so I'm not really too concerned about it. This AMX about to push around the corner and finish this guy off, who is certainly annoyed with me at this point. And there we go, my 5th kill in the match. You know, certainly taking it to the enemy team, demonstrating just how potent this tier 3 tank is, especially when used properly. Now, Nano not really having any kills for himself at this point. you know, he's still new to the game, but not only that, he was more in that defensive posture and didn't really get a chance to kill the enemy team. It is 12-6 at this point, and really the enemy team has virtually no chance of survival. Me pinging, saying, hey, there's a light tank pushing on our base. This M3 Stewart trying to take a shot at me, but he fired way wild there, not even coming close to hitting me. And here I want to get my top gun, you know, so very close, and right there I think I've lost it. I think I'm about to die, but I luckily bounce a shell and I get my 6th kill, getting myself a top gun and a tier 3 tank, and you know, doing rather well for myself. I also want to survive at this point because I have a very good chance at getting steel wall. Jagdpanzer 1 stopping right in front of me. Now on these lower tier matches, it's really hard to say what happens on the rest of the team. I'm getting a little vulgar here, saying F your team, basically saying you can't stop this. But as I was saying, it's really hard to commentate on what's happening across the map due to the fact that the radio ranges are so short. Now the Amex on my team getting a good laugh at that, and here I believe, if I recall correctly, we do win by capture. I think this little TD just decides to hide, which at these lower tiers I don't really get why people hide. If they have a chance at one more kill and doing damage and earning more experience, they should really take it. Now Nano getting his 2nd kill of the match. Together we get over half of our team's kills, 2 and 6, and on a ×3 I managed to make 4,068 experience, which I believe equates to approximately 1,300 to 1,400 standard, which, yes, I am using premium, but that is still very impressive for a tier 3, even with premium. Now 6 kills, 37 shots fired. I still had 67 more to go before I ran out, but 30 of those hit the target, and I managed to survive 18 hits, which is virtually unheard of. Well, I shouldn't say it's unheard of, but it's very unlikely on such a lower tier tank, especially when I was fighting the tanks I was. Now, I did not get steel wall, which is kind of a surprise. I mean, I took 18 hits, but I think it was that damage. I think in order to get steel wall, you have to survive, you have to bounce or absorb 1,000 points of damage that actually doesn't get done to you. And in these lower tier matches, it's really hard to do that. Anyway, without anything more to say, I guess if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And as always, if you have replays, send it to spanglereplays@gmail.com. Email will be in the description. And this is Spang signing off.